So, in case you don't know the Coney lore, HHGregg was. Damn it. Oh, they're only online now. Yeah, they're gonna die. This is an anti-bounty. This is the opposite of a bounty. Never go here. This is HHGregg. It's the Best Buy. Anyway, it's the Best Buy. I worked here for like 6 months. These people work 100% on commission. Although, I guess if it's an online retailer, that's not really the same thing. When you would go into the store, people would lie, champ. Oh my god, it was so bad. It was 100% commission. So people would say anything to get you to buy it. Because if I sell you a TV and you buy the TV and I make my commission, when you return that TV, I get to keep it. Doesn't matter how much you return. Not my fault. I could lie. What? Oh, they said that I said the TV does this? Oh, no, they misunderstood. No, I never said that. So easy. Very easy to do. So, yeah, you would lie a lot, which is why I didn't work there very long, because I felt you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. I don't like doing sales. I don't like lying to people. I like lying to a big group of people, but to an individual, no. I can't do it. Because I always think my family kind of grew up poor, and I'm like, what if my mom was really dumb and this guy took her for a ride and, you know, sold her a TV that was way more expensive than she needed? Not trying to trick dumb people. At least not at an individual level. By the way, hit !claim to get your free sub. Now, this guy used to be the mascot, which is so stupid because he's just a flyer with a head.
Who are you?
The name's HH. How you doing? Your HHGregg sales guy.
Well, I'd love a new washer and dryer.
The washer and dryer section was always full of middle-aged men who were miserable. There were different sections. The TV section was full of the lowest, low-down, scum Weasley shits you could ever meet. The TV section was where the real money was. So if you were in the TV section trying to buy a TV, these people were scublords. They would say anything to get you to buy. The appliance people had sort of given up on life. There's this era of, like, despair. Like, the earth has turned against them. You would wander around the appliances, and there was nobody to be seen. It was really bad. So, the appliance section was terrible. But there were all these, like, middle-aged men who had gone hollow, who hadn't made any sales for a while. And they would try to sell you a fridge or a washer dryer, but they didn't really care. They weren't really pushy. Then you had the nerds in the laptop and consumer electronics section. So that's like cameras, MP3 players, laptops, game systems. And that was the most honest because those were nerds who knew a lot about the product, and the margins are razor thin. So you couldn't make a lot of money. That was my section because I didn't know TVs. And I didn't pretend to know TVs. I didn't like lying to people. I watched Up like, I think 10 times one day because it was on and I was on a very long shift. 10 times wouldn't make sense. It's a 2-hour-long movie. 5 times. Have you guys ever worked a retail job? You can't sit down. You can't sit down. You cannot sit down. You cannot. They get so mad at you if you sit, which is insane to me as someone who sits for a living. I don't know where that rule started. I guess the idea is it's bad customer service because somebody comes in and, you know, you're not helping them. They have to wander around the store. It's so stupid. Isn't retail like top 5 worst jobs ever? Depends where you work. There are some good retail jobs, or at least passable. Like if they pay you a decent wage or if there is some level of commission that's fair, it's not terrible, but those are very few and far between. Not common at all. They think you look lazy. Yeah, by sitting down, you look lazy, which is obnoxious. I used to work at a Brookstone, too. Brookstone sells massage chairs. What the fuck do you think I'm gonna do when there aren't customers in the store at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday? Huh? Sitting in the goddamn chair. I'm so happy that they're dead. At least offline. They'll die a slow, painful, bleeding death online, and I'm so thrilled. I have such hatred in my heart. Didn't like a single manager, liked 2 employees that I worked with, spent a week and a half training. Just become a streamer. Don't get a job. Just get on Twitch. I wish I could have skipped this step, dude. Who hurt you? Him! That guy! This woman would lie to your dying grandmother. This woman will say anything to get you buy a fucking washer. She's scum. Do not believe her lies. I hate everybody. I'm so miserable. I was 22 working at this job, maybe 23. Severely depressed. I would literally... This is insane. I would literally go to work 10 hours, come home to my house, which was a very shitty house with my 5 roommates, and play Jack and Daxter 2. on the big TV for hours, or Siren on the PS2. I played all the Jak and Daxter games. I would just come home, play Jak and Daxter, go to bed, and go to work the next day. Was it a 3D TV? You think I could afford that working at HHGregg? I never made commission because I didn't lie to people. So I made minimum wage, which was $7.25 because I didn't lie. The only time that I sold shit was like, people would come in and they'd be like, hey, I need a laptop. And I'm like, hey, what do you need it for? They're like, just word processing. I'm like, you game? You doing a gaming? They said no every time. All right, well, here's a Chromebook. This will be fine. Dude, people would literally, this happened to me. I don't want to tell you guys this because you're going to laugh at me. I got cucked on a sale. I talked to this old couple for 2 hours about the TV they would like. They wanted the biggest, most expensive TV, 3D, all the works, and they wanted it. And I was like, you sure? You want? And they were like, yeah, who cares? Money wasn't an object. They lived in Annapolis. They were millionaires. I go to get the paperwork. Some motherfucker sniped them. He was literally ringing them up in the back. And I was like, hey, I'm talking to these guys. He's like, no, I got it. Don't worry. I'll help them. And I'm like, hey, man, I was kind of helping them. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Why don't you go help those people over there? And when you can't tell the people like, hey, this is commission, let me do it. You can't tell them that. And if I go to a manager, I look like a pussy. So I'm just like, dude, come on. It's bad. It was really bad. It's fucked up. People were sharks. Seriously. Put them on blast in front of the customer? For what? I would get written up. I would get in trouble for that. That's the thing about this company, is that they didn't care. What am I supposed to do? The company would get mad at me for ruining the customer experience because they just wanted a TV. Why do you have to bring, politics into it or whatever the fuck? It was so bad. It was actually cutthroat. I hated this fucking job so much. And I don't say that about every job I do. I did Brookstone. It was fine. It was kind of low paying and it was kind of shitty, but it was fine. It's a fine retail job. Pretty much every other job I had was fine. But this one, oh, God.